Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. Today is Thursday, August the 20th. We are sitting in today for Winston Chester, our newest school board member. Congratulations on running a quality campaign like we knew you would, and we know you're going to do a fantastic job with that. And you know, to Winston's credit, he immediately been out picking up signs and getting his stuff done so he can get started. So big congratulations to Winston. Let's look at the weather brought to us by Haney. Unfortunately, we got about an 80% chance of thunderstorms today. So it'll be a little cooler, high of 84 with a low of 77. Water temp is an average now of about 86. Looking at a high tide around 12:17 p.m. with a low tide at 9:05. Apalachicola at Bluntstown is 4.9 with a real slow fall through the weekend. And Choctawhatchee at Caryville is about 2.5 feet, which is probably going to get a little bump up in the next couple of days with some of this local rain that we've got going on. Peak fishing times, if you were able to go, would be 2:17 to 4:17 this afternoon. So we're going to go ahead and take this break and come right back with our special guest. Hey, welcome back. As usual, I'm joined by my good friend and our mayor, my fishing partner, Mr. Greg Brudnicki. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Bill.
We have had, first of all, for those of you who saw the show Tuesday about the Carl Gray Park ramp, I thought Winston did a great job. The news coverage did a good job with that. Congratulations. I know that has been a long time coming and a struggle between just the permitting and the funding, and then you have a hurricane, and then you have COVID, but wow, pushed through to get it, right?
It did. It took a long time. They really did a beautiful job. It was something that was really needed in the city, and this is for all the citizens of Bay County. You know, not just Panama City residents and tourists. And there is no charge to be able to use the boat landing. So yeah, it's
not like our eastern neighbors over there who. Trying to hit us for going over there using their ramps, so which I still think is ridiculous. But no, I'm proud of that. I've used that ramp. We got to be one of the first boats to go in, and I was in there with Captain Scotty, and it's fantastic because I've been launching there literally my entire life. I'm old enough to drive, and when I couldn't, when Dad, we would launch over there. So we have had the opportunity to get out on some good tides in the afternoons, and we have really been catching some good fish. Now, some days we had to work pretty hard for them, using a variety of different things. So, but you know, in general, pretty good sized trout.
Good sized trout, good sized redfish. Not a lot of pressure on them out there. It's hot. You know, so people, you know, don't tend to be able to get out there and take that heat. But if I'm catching fish, I really don't care how hot it is. And I guess you just get used to it after a while. And we always have these small windows of time. And if we were blessed with decent weather, we're going to try to take advantage of it. So we usually find the right thing to throw. And it's fun. No doubt about it.
Well, we've got 10 or 12 rods rigged up on the boat at any one time, so we're going to be able to find something to throw. And what we're going to do is we've got some video clips of some redfish and some trout being caught, and then a little bit later we've got some pictures. But when we come back from that, we're going to talk about some of the rigs, how we're rigging up and using. And then it's pretty well known that we don't keep any of these redfish you see, they all go back, 100% go back. And they have for the last, what, 15 years we've been fishing or longer.
Yeah, unless they're just totally gut hooked and they're just.
Sometimes they get it in the crushers and we can't get it out, but they go back. The trout, however, we do enjoy our trout, and Greg, who comes from a long line of chefs, has an outstanding recipe for trout that he's going to share with us later on. So be ready to write it down or watch it on YouTube so you can get it, because we've eaten this trout several times and it's fantastic. So let's go ahead right now and take this break, not break, but we're going to go to the video, and then we'll talk about some of the rest of this.
Yeah, Bill's hooked up. Nice redfish.
He went on a little run there.
He did.
Had to switch ends of the boat without falling in. And he got a mouth full of Z-Man. And he's
Fixing missed the net.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hello, buddy.
Beauty. That is a nice one.
Buddy.
Nice fish.
That's what I've been looking for this morning.
Yes, sir. That is a professional. I'm going to get a heavy tip today.
Look at that Z-Man hanging out of there.
Beautiful.
I don't like the looks of that, but it may be a big red staying down. I believe it is.
Yeah. He ain't
Oh,
that
yeah.
big, just
He's strong. He's a healthy boy.
healthy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Nettie?
He might break the line. A little bit fast. There's a lot of weight.
I'm not catching any fish, but I'm making a good deckhand. How about that?
Nice.
The cigar worked again.
There's no panic. He's all over this. There we go. Let me see if I can do two things at once, which usually doesn't work out that well. Just lead that bad boy right there. There we go. As usual, I had to do all the work there. Filming. I mean, all you did was really hook him up. There's that Paradine, baby. He is let into it. Good job, Captain Greg.
Right in the side, that was it.
Yeah, Greg just hooked up on what looks like a pretty decent redfish. And he is working, and he does not like Greg's boat.
Top water.
And he got him on
Foul
top
hook.
water, and we
He's
just
not
got
very-
out here.
He's foul hook. He's up under in the side.
Oh yeah,
He ain't very big.
yeah, he's foul hooked. Let me show you how this is handled right here. Look how pretty that
That
thing
doggy
is.
is full of dark water.
He is golden, ain't he?
Hit that silver top water. Did not get a hit for an hour or a fish for an hour. Then we got two at exactly the same
Yeah.
time.
We had an issue there. Both of these are top water. Mine's on the skitter wipe, which you can't see too well. But yeah, we had a little issue with the net in there then, but that was fun. That was fun. It's just late in the evening. It's 7 o'clock, and we're on the end of the, the middle of the prime time for the fishing. So that was a lot of fun right there.
All right, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed those little snippets that we take real quick out there. And so this morning we wanted to talk about what we're catching these fish on. And Greg, who is the master of fishing the suspended baits, these are the two primary things that he's been using.
Yeah, this is a Paul Brown, and you know, depending on the weather, as far as the amount of light we've got, cloud cover and all that, there's several different colors of this. Main thing that when you're throwing this particular bait is to, you know, when you throw it out there, let it settle a little bit. Really depends on how deep the water is. I usually fish it in 1.5 to 2.5 feet of water, and jerk it several times. Then you got to stop. And when you jerk it, it'll move, and then when you stop, it goes back down. I'd say 75% of the strikes I get is when it goes back down. And so you got to keep your line and your slack out of the line, because many times you will be jerk, 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 and I snag so many, by accident, because they're up there looking at it, and all of a sudden when I'm
a lot of the fish he catches by accident, by the way.
When you're twitching it and really jerking it, they will, sometimes you'll hook them top of the head or somewhere. And of course, this is a Miradine, it's a hard bait, and I'll usually have both rods rigged up, and I'll switch between the two. And it's one of those things. This is a little hardier, a little sturdier. This one, soft, a little softer, and it will not take as many licks as the Miradine will, but you will probably get more strikes on this. You'll pay about $2 or $3 more for this, and you'll lose these more than you will this one, but that's why anytime you go to stores around here, they never have any because they're always gone. It's probably because I keep saying how good they are. So anyway, it's a jerk, jerk, jerk.
You get a little more distance out of this too if you got a wind situation.
Yeah, you will. The wind, this one's a little bit heavier, and they make them a little bit bigger than this. But I like this particular size, and I don't even know, I guess you can tell the size of it, but they are...
That's that Miradine XL.
Yeah.
That's the bigger one.
Yeah, and they make several different colors. There's a bone color one that's really good, if you can find it. But those are very effective. It's frustrating because when you're fishing in shallow water and you've got loose grass and stuff, and if you let it go down too far, sometimes it'll get in the grass. You'll throw over places where you've got humps, and you get frustrated with it, and so many people say, I can't throw that because I keep getting grass out. I don't want it. I'm going to tell you, jerk, 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 jerk fast. You'll keep it off the top of that grass, and as it's settling, they'll slam it. So it's an acquired taste to be able to get used to using these, but if you ever do, you will love them.
Yes. Very effective.
They are.
Very effective.
They are.
Bait. So we got that till the end of the segment. Now, you got that time. Can you share the recipe for the trout in that amount of time in about 3 minutes?
Sure. Yeah. I've fixed trout several different ways. There's all kinds of ways. It's hard to really screw it up. You just don't want to overcook it because it's such a delicate fish. But one of the ways that my bride at home over the last 40 some odd years, she loves trout, and there are certain times of year that there are worms in trout. People say, oh, I can't eat them, they are wormy. Very, very seldom am I finding any worms in the fish now. And I don't know why. I used to find a lot more, but maybe it's fishing in the right place. But anyway, the fillets, you take the skin off, and then I will take the fillets and put them in a pan and put a little bit of oil at the bottom of the pan so they don't stick to it. Set your oven like 4 1/4, and I will sprinkle some seasoned salt on each side of the fish. Set it. Go ahead and set the fish in the pan, and then I will put a little bit of blackening spice, not heavy, on the fish, and then coat it with mayonnaise. Okay.
It sounds crazy, but it's
Yeah,
fantastic.
and you put mayonnaise on there, and then I sprinkle a little bit of Italian breadcrumbs, just a light. You don't want it heavy, and put that in the oven for basically 25 minutes on 425. And if you've got a pan like a metal pan, the reflection that you'll get from the light, you may not have to broil it. Sometimes you'll turn the broiler on for the last minute or two, but you need to watch it. And if your fillets are off of a 16 to 19 inch trout, 25 minutes usually works. And it's all about your oven too. Sometimes you got it set on 425, but your oven's not calibrated. So it could be only 400, could be 450. So all those little things when you cook, and I cook all the time, so I know, you gotta, it depends on your oven. So don't walk away and go somewhere and then come back and go, oh, it's overcooked, because your oven may not be what my oven is. But I'm telling you, on mine, it's 4 1/4. So watch it. May have to broil it at the end, But I'm telling you, from a taste standpoint, it fishes as good as anything that I've eaten. And you can do it
No.
with redfish. You can do. I mean, you can do it with snapper, grouper. Sometimes the fish is a little thicker, takes a little longer. But just watch it, and pay attention. But that combination of the little seasoned salt, a little bit of blackening spikes, and I think I'm using that Zatarans, not too heavy because they get hot, and then mayonnaise. Well, mayonnaise is pretty forgiving because of the oil. You probably won't overcook it, you know, but it seems to do really, really well.
That is fantastic fish. I highly recommend that you try that. You probably won't fix it any other way. We're going to go ahead and take this break, come back with our last segment. Hey, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you try that. You're going to love it. Every time, you know, I run into you guys that watch the show, or you know, they're always asking about the Z-Man and what we're fishing and how we're fishing. So, you know, we want to talk about this. It's become a big arsenal, those suspending baits, but I have become a total convert to Z-Man. And truthfully, I started out 2 or 3 years ago with Mark trying to get me to fish him. I thought, you know, I'm gonna stick with my gulp, but that's I don't have many gulp left. So, and I'm also using these Texas Eye jig heads. They are the greatest invention in the world, and you see how that works right there. You know, they've got those golden eyes, they've got the red ones. I don't really think it matters that much, but when you have it rigged up like I do here with the this is the Z-Man scented paddlers. It's weedless, and I don't swim it, I hop it. I'll throw this into the grass, I'll throw it on the edges of the grass, but when it sits because these are so buoyant, it sticks straight up and it's flopping around, and they can't stand it. They absolutely can't stand it. And then, you know, again, I just simply rig it weedless. There's a small keeper weight underneath that'll, you know, this thing won't slip back like other plastics. It will stay put. It just won't slip back, so you don't have to constantly fiddle with it. But I throw it on this 13 fishing 7'2" medium rod with a fast tip, and this one I use a 3.0 13 fishing reel for a little more backbone, and that's what I like about this rod. I use some other rods that you could get fantastic distance out of, but when it came time to set the hook, there was too much travel in the rod and I couldn't get a good hook set. But I can throw it a long way with this, and I can also, you know, set their jaws with it too when I need to. So, and they're light. You can fish with them all day long. They're so much better than the rods that I used to use. And Z-Man makes a lot of colors. The water the other day wasn't particularly clear, so, you know, I went with this, I think they call it the pinfish color, but white is very effective with that as well. So, and I do it, I use the 15-pound Yozuri HD fluorocarbon. It's a little more expensive, but it's, and I use this pink because it disappears. About 2 feet or so of it, you know, because it's more abrasion resistant, you know, I found, than some of the cheaper brands there. So anyway, that's the way that I rigged that. And like Greg, I'm going to carry a top water that's rigged and ready to go. I'm going to carry one with a Z-Man or a Miradine on there. I'm always going to have something I can throw a long way and bounce a plastic. I fish that 70% of the time when we can't top water. But I also set up this 13 fishing 7-1 rod that's medium with the Texas Eye with the keeper hook. And this is with a 2/0 reel that 13 fishing makes. Little lighter application, but it does the job. So if you do this with the the paddlers here, when you get in that heavy grass and you're trying to fish, you know, a jerk bait, you know, this isn't suspending, so you have to keep it moving, but you wind up picking a lot less grass up like this with this hook cover, okay? And so, you know, and I'll use this rod to either fish this or fish a spoon or whatever that I'm going to throw, that I'm going to swim, and you know, it does a great job. So the keep up with my time here. So the Z-Man, you know, they're fantastic. They make a shrimp that you know, this small shrimp right here, I caught that 30-inch redfish on this, rigged with the this Texas eye, you know, and it's sitting there floating straight up, and he just couldn't stand it. So the thing about Z-Man is, and you can go to their site, and they've got a lot of videos about how to fish them, how to care for them. Always keep your Z-Man in the packages they came in. If you put this in a Plano box with any other kind of plastic or gulp or anything else, you're just going to have a big wad of what looks like melted rubber. So, and I know that from personal experience. But anyway, this, you know, I'm going to throw as far as I can and bounce it. This I'm going to swim. And, you know, we just keep reaching for rods, you know, to continue to throw something different. And we usually wind up, you know, not fishing the same thing at the same time. So, but that's what we've been doing. It's fantastic for trout, fantastic for redfish. So,
Give you one tip. We got time.
Hurry.
You're catching fish, and it's, you know, one after one. Run your hand up that line and check it.
Yeah.
You want to lose a $10 lure? Don't check your line.
I'm going to use about 2 feet typically of this fluorocarbon, because you're going to have to change it. 10-pound works, but you're going to have to change it more often. So the 15-pound is a little bit more durable and still plenty flexible. So, all right, I appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. Do something good for somebody today, and we'll see you later. Thanks.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.